everyone, it's Crystal and welcome to another process layout video. So here I'm using my October 2013 Never Tear Us Apart add-on and main kit from Scraptastic. And as you had already seen there, I had printed out the photos that I plan on using for this kit. And now I'm just going through and picking out the papers I want to use for this layout. So I decided to use the one photo of my parents, my mom and my dad, and this was taken a year ago when we went to the circus, and I'm finally getting around to scrapbooking these pictures now. So you just see my process here of just flipping through all these papers, and there's no really rhyme or reason how I pick them. I just put them together, and if I like them, I use them. If I don't, then I move on to other ones. So I knew I definitely wanted to use this heart pattern paper here, and I wanted to map my photo in that mustard square print one there. Now I'm starting off with this photo being a 4x6, and I wanted to keep it that way because I wanted the picture of the fountain, because we had went into town, and at Station Square they have this beautiful fountain that dances to like the music. The fountain goes with the music, and it's the first time my parents have ever seen it. And I wanted the whole photo, but I ended up cutting it down. So there I was just looking at the sticker sheet. I knew I definitely wanted to use 2 of the stickers off of there. And now I'm just going through all the embellishments that came into the kit. And once again, as you've seen on my other layouts, I just pick out the ones that I like or think will work well with this layout. And I pull them all out, and then I'll have like a gazillion of them laying on the layout, and then I don't even end up using half of them. But at least they're out, and I don't have to keep picking through them. So yeah, that's all I'm doing right here. And like I said, well, no, I didn't say it, but there's the patterns, the papers I was planning on using. And when I started trimming down this paper right here, I trimmed it down too small, and it just messed my whole process up. So I'm gonna go through here later on here, and I end up changing the layout than what I originally had planned. Oh, I can't talk. That happens to me a lot. Usually I'll have it planned out in my head, and then when I start scrapping, I'm like, it doesn't work. So at least that's how it works for me. So as you see here, I'm measuring now, and I realized that I cut that sheet of paper way too small, and I didn't want to waste it, so I wanted it to work with what I had. So that's what I'm deciding to do there. So my battery had died on my camera, and I plugged it in, and I thought I turned the camera back on, but I didn't. So there was a little bit here that you are missing, but nothing major. It was just me fixing the problem that I had created by cutting that sheet a little smaller. So there, I went back in through the kit, and I pulled out that chevron piece right there. I wasn't intended on using that one at first, but after I made my little mistake, I decided to go ahead and use it. So I'm trimming that down. And what I had originally had planned was I was going to use that heart paper as my background, but I decided I just wanted to use a piece of that as the border and use the mustard colored cardstock as the background. So I think that's what I'm going to get ready to do here now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So here I'm just deciding how much of a border I want around the yellow cardstock. And I believe I went for a half inch or 3/4 of an inch border all the way around the layout. And I cut out that middle piece because, you wasn't going to see it anyways. I don't like wasting my supplies, so I cut that out. And I'm using repositionable tape here to put down the yellow cardstock. And normally I would just have used my ATG gun, but I am so glad here at this point that I did use that repositionable tape, because I had forgotten that I wanted to ink all my edges with my distress ink. So, and I realize that here in a minute. And then you see me put down a piece of that washi tape right there. That was the washi tape that came in our kit. So here you go. At this point, I was so thankful that I had used repositionable adhesive rather than my ATG gun, because like I said, I forgot that I wanted to ink those edges, and I'm just inking them with Distress ink, and I believe the color is Walnut Stain. So by using that repositionable tape, it made it a lot easier. And then what I'm doing here now is I'm looking for a piece of white cardstock, because since I cut that middle out of that one piece, I like to put a piece of white cardstock on the back of there just to make it a little bit more stable. You don't have to do this, but like I said, this is just my own personal preference. I like my layouts to have a little bit of weight to them, to have some stability. Even though I know they're going into a page protector, I still like that's just having that stability there. And I didn't line it up 100% even, so I'm just going through cutting off that little piece of white you can see there hanging off the edge. And at this point, there's going to be a little bit of pause in here, because my ATG gun ran out of tape when I was doing that, and I couldn't find any refills, so I had to use some score tape I had laying around. So here I'm just inking the edge of that border piece I decided to use. And I like doing the Distress ink. I like inking all the edges, and I inked every edge on this layout, even on my embellishments. If it was a paper embellishment and the edges could be inked, it was inked. It just, I don't know, in my opinion, it just really ties that layout in. It ties everything together. So, and it also helped me to include some brown into the layout, because there was a couple little embellishments that had some brown on it. So by inking the edges in the Walnut Stain, helped me include that color into the layout. Even though it's not like super noticeable, it's still a little bit noticeable. So here I am playing around with these circles. 'Cause this is how I wanted the layout. I just wanted like a bunch of little circles in the layout, and those are the ones I decided to work with. And I put down some more washi tape there at the bottom of the photo. And like I said earlier, I knew I wanted to use 2 of those stickers from the sticker sheet, and it was the mom and the dad. And I just cut them out to keep the backer sheet on them so I can move them around on the layout, so I was able to see exactly where I wanted to put them. So at this point here, I am just rearranging the circles to get them to look some way pleasing to at least my eye. And I did struggle with that with this layout. I don't know. Sometimes these layouts come together so easy for me, and sometimes they don't. But I'm a very slow scrapbooker. Like, all my layouts generally take me from an hour to an hour and a half. And sometimes, if it's really meaningful to me, sometimes that layout will take even longer. But I don't mind it. I really enjoy that process. I figure if I'm taking the time to scrapbook these memories, I'm going to at least do it right, in my opinion. So take my time and enjoy that. And this is my hobby, and I enjoy doing it, so there's no need for me to rush through a layout. So I'm using 2 of these corrugated potty people, as everyone's calling them, that came in a kit. And there, someone was calling me. My phone's always ringing, whether it's my cell phone or my house phone. It's like never a moment of peace. So here I'm just, like I said, going through the embellishments, trying to pull together a look that was pleasing to at least my eye. And I'm so sorry for this long pause. I had no clue what I was doing. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was pulling out my Sew Easy kits, because I knew I wanted to do some hand sewing on here. I have 2 sewing machines. I just haven't pulled them out. I've never sewed on a layout with my sewing machine, so. But I have a Sew Easy, and I decided to go ahead and use that. So you see me using it there, and it did go through my paper, but because it was going through like 2 to 3 layers of paper, plus a tape, a washi tape, it didn't go all the way through. So I was looking for my paper piercer, so I can just go through and poke these holes out. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm using this holographic thread that I picked up at Joann's a long time ago, but it was too thin to use and with the holes that I punctured. So I end up, for at the moment, just scrapping that idea, and I pulled out some floss and I end up using that. So I cut this off of the layout because I'm sure you guys, it just took me forever to sew this. And I'm sure you guys don't want to see all that, but you will see the finished product here in a minute. So what I did was I did use that Sew Easy on both pieces of the washi tape. So as you see there, I just got done with that thread. It wasn't working. And here's where I come back and I'm just covering it up on the back. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the front here in a minute. And again, that wasn't necessary to cover it up on the back, but I just wanted to do it. And I messed up on that when I first started. It knotted up on me, and it created a loop up there. So I wanted to do that on the bottom too. I just thought it looked really nice. It, it wasn't planned, but it looked cute, so I left it there. So that thread that I had pulled off that I was going to use from the beginning of it, I didn't want to throw it away because that stuff was not cheap. So what I just did was just ball it up and just threw it down there on the layout and covered, just put some of the pattern paper on top of it so that holographic thread just peeked out from the corners, and I really like the way that looked. I have never done anything like that with a layout, but I don't know. I just thought it looked really cute. I still think it looks cute. I really like the way that looked. It's just a messy look. So I'm just putting down my pictures and my layers. And then I'm going to go back to here, debating on where I'm putting that mom and dad, and back with these circles again. Because that was the whole idea of this layout, is I wanted to put these like little circles at different places. And so you're going to see me really just fussing with them. I'm still looking if I can use even more circles, but I don't want too many of them, and it just, it is what it is. Sometimes, I don't know. I like the look of it though. I like the way it did come out. So, and then I wanted to put one of those resin flowers. Actually, I wanted to use 3 of them, but then it added too much bulk to the layout. And then I just didn't think one just didn't look right, so I scratched that idea. And I'm still at this point just going through trying to find embellishments, and if I wanted to use something from the cut apart sheet, and yeah. I was really stuck on these stupid circles. So I'm pretty happy with the placement I have here now. I'm going to go ahead and ink up the edges again. And then I'm going to use my score tape and go ahead and put them down in place where I have them. And I pretty much leave that mom and dad down there where it's at. And I used a Memento marker in brown, and I put like the and sign in there. I handwrote it, which I wish I wouldn't have done that now. But, it's done. Can't go back and rechange it, but it's there. And you're going to see that here in a minute. So I'm just gluing everything down, and because I'm pretty much leaving the layout the way it is now. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. I'm using my SC Tumble Die stuff, and I'm using a paintbrush, and I'm just putting some paint drops on here. And I went with some big ones because I wanted those big ones to really stick out on the layout. And there you see me. That mom and dad is the title. I just left that like that. But I wanted some big drops. I wanted little ones too and big ones. So here I go in with the littler ones. And I really like the way this looked on the layout. I thought it came together so nice. And then the last thing I'm going to do is use the liquid pearls that came into the kit. And I think it was the color copper. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have it in front of me to look at it. And I just create little dots in where I did some of that splattering at with this. And I just really love the way it looked. So that is it, guys. That's my final product. Stay tuned, and they will have some still photos. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye.